My name is Tim Devlin with Devlin Rod and Customs out of Wichita, Kansas, and this is our 1934 Chevrolet Roadster. This is a Holden-bodied Roadster, all hand built by us in Wichita, Kansas. Been massaged and worked over quite a bit. Got a lot of machine parts on it. Got a Roadster shop chassis that was custom built for this build. It's all cantilever suspension. All the coilovers are mounted inboard in the frame rails. Custom machine parts everywhere from the control arms to the grille to the headlight trim. There's just not a stone left unturned as far as what we did. So our motor in this car is an LS based motor. It's a dart block and heads. We worked with actually Alan Johnson and automotive specialist Keith Dorton to develop this engine. Alan worked with us to develop a one-off intake manifold that actually is a fuel injection system. Our customer's instructions were, I want an 8-stack injection system, but I want it to really feel like a mechanical injection system. So this is a one-off intake that Alan had cast just for this car. All of the injectors and electronics are ran inside of the intake itself. The idea and the design of the motor was a bit to look like a Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. If you look at the valve covers, those have a little bit of a Rolls-Royce feel to them. But our customer really wanted to have a small block feel, but not walk completely away from being an LS motor. The LS has been completely ground smooth. There's no cast marks on anything. There's actually some custom millwork in the heads that are hard to see with the sides closed on it, but everything else is just a complete one-off piece. All of the bright work that's on the motor that you see there is a dull nickel that's then been brightly polished by John Wright's custom chrome plating. The interior itself is obviously pretty Spartan, being a true Roadster with no side windows. There's no heater, there's no air conditioner, there's no radio. The sound that you want to hear is the sound of that Dart LS and making tons of power. So that's really what the interior is all about. So in talking about some of the custom modifications that were done to the body, one of the big things you see is our convertible top system. This Roadster top will actually fold up and go into the body of the car. We have what's a tonneau system here that will lift up, and then the convertible top will then fold back into the body. And that was all one-off built at Devlin Rod and Customs by Austin Sackett. So some of the interesting features that we find up front, the louvers that you see on the hood sides, those are actually an original GM piece. We actually used the original louvers from the original hood sides and grafted those onto some custom hood skins. Some of the other things that you see is a set of E&J headlights. E&J headlights tend to be something that's difficult to work into projects, and this was something that Eric Black, who helped design the car, put in the very first design, and we just fell in love with it from day one. Another thing that you see on the car is the custom wheels. They're a one-off Hallebrand Indy style wheel that have been shot peened to give it a cast finish, and then we're Cerakoted in the same gray that we've got throughout the motor and the exhaust system, as well as the dull nickel that was polished knockoff that we've got there. Front on the car is one area where you can see a lot of machine parts, and what you really start to see is our plating that you see. So John Wright at Custom Chrome Plating did a dull nickel finish, and then he polished the dull nickel. And what that is before chrome plating and bright chrome existed, that's how they did plating. And so it comes out dull and then ends up with that bright polish that's done to it, and it has a much warmer feel to it. And that's something that we really wanted to get that went with our blue exterior color. We've also can see it on the machine grille that we have, that the outer perimeter has that same dull nickel that's been polished, but the insert actually is a dull aluminum finish that's a Cerakote color, and that grille was machined by EVOD. And so in the back of our car, there wasn't a whole lot of room for a fuel tank, so what we decided to do was our own custom system. And one of the things of the highlights is our Holden bodied plate that is back there, and it's the only original piece left on the car that reminds you of this being a Holden. The custom tank was built by us. We've got some leather straps that bring you back to the inside, custom. EVOD built the trunk hinges for us. We've used the original Chevrolet design for our taillights, but we've made those EVOD actually machined the lenses and the bezels for us as well. This car, we were able to go to Pomona this year, and the goal of the car was to go to America's Most Beautiful Roadster, and we were able to take home the win there. And we actually were at Goodguys in Columbus for the Street Rod of the Year, and the car won that as well. And so we're here at the Elite Builders in NSRA, which is a great event, and we've got a few more planned for the rest of the year, including going to Pigeon Forge. And we look forward to those events, and if you see us at any of those events, please make sure you come up and ask us lots of questions. We love to talk about the car, and we're very proud of it. I'd like to say thank you to the entire build team, Austin Sackett, Gage Sackett, that are here with us at the NSRA, are responsible for the way this car looks, and I couldn't be more proud of the team, and Jeff Bro for our client who owns this great car, and such a wonderful person to work for, and it's just been a pleasure. So thank you all very much, and we hope you enjoy the car.